is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
All right, glory, glory, hallelujah, glory, glory. No sheep allowed. If you're a sheep, we'll have to shear your wool and make a pillow and gag you with it. This is still available with the very dangerous, highly mojo-affected Ted Nugent signature. You've got to have one of these hanging over your vestibule, and if you haven't got a vestibule, get one. Welcome back to the Ted Nugent Real America's Voice Spirit Campfire, home of the flame-throwing middle finger. In fact, it's a flame-throwing off-road middle finger, and we have an off-road maniac. My name is Ted Nugent. I'm an off-road maniac. I mean, every day in my life is a race, mostly off-road, and my goal in my everyday off-road race is to win. And I was actually lucky. We talked about it before. Mickey Thompson, Parnelli Jones, they invited me to race off-road. We got Ryan Arciero. This guy might be more crazy than I am, but Ryan, you're younger than I am, so you can still do this. At 76, I guarantee, I was offered a Bronco for the Baja a couple years ago, and if I would have accepted, I would have killed myself because I'm much too aggressive for my own body. Ryan, let's talk about off-road racing. The Baja's coming up, and you race a trophy truck. Talk about horsepower. Talk about wheel travel. Talk about the technology that benefits everybody in a vehicle today that comes from off-road racing. Am I right?
100%, Ted. First off, thank you for having me part of the show. This is awesome. I told you just before off air that I used to be in Pomona as a kid with my dad racing, and seeing you out there racing with Marty Tripes, and it was just it was a pleasure. And you know, obviously you're huge in outdoors. Off-road racing is all outdoors, and as you can see behind me is two of the vehicles that we build and race here at 19 Industries that I race myself. And obviously we're flying the red, white, and blue with the stars. But what we race it's called Trophy Truck. They're one of the most badass race vehicles on this planet. 40-inch tall BF Goodrich tires. We got Fox fully electronic shocks on these trucks now. 3 foot of wheel travel, 4 foot of wheel travel on these things. Capable of doing a speeds of, I'm doing almost 160 miles an hour across the dirt in the truck you're seeing behind me. Joe Gibbs Racing, it's based in North Carolina, builds the engines for the trucks you see behind me. But they are fire breathers, 1,100 horsepower, normally aspirated. These things get up and go. 90, 100 miles an hour over 3, 4, 5 foot ditches. It is just, it's asinine. I love it. I'm excited every time I get in it. I've raced for the last 32 years, been around it my whole life. I'm 51 years old and I'm keeping going, baby.
Well, Ryan, what you're talking about here, I've always celebrated that life is best enjoyed and truly lived with a higher level of awareness. Now, I seek higher level of awareness as an archer, the origins of Zen, the origins of the martial arts, becoming one with the arrow. And when I plunged into off-road racing, thanks to Tracy Valenta and my buddy Marty Tripes and Rick Mears and Iron Man Stewart and Parnelli Jones and Mickey Thompson, these guys all welcomed me, you know, and I was just known as just a smart-ass guitar player, which I really, really was a great smart-ass guitar player. In fact, today in 2024, I remain a really smart-ass guitar player. But I had to utilize that depth perception, that infinitesimal terrain judgment, that higher level of awareness that maximizes my guitar celebration, my musical adventure, my communication with my fellow bandmates, and ultimately with the bow and arrow to get close to game that God created not to let us get close to, and put that arrow in the pump station so I can get some venison out of the deal. Talk about the alpha male demands of higher level of awareness. You're talking 160 miles. I've gone 170 miles. I went 200 miles an hour with Parnelli Jones in a Jack Roush Mustang at the Indy track, and I thought I had a scrotum. Mickey Thompson and Parnelli Jones and Ryan Arciero, you must have a Tyrannus Rex scrotum, because the instantaneous judgment you have to make coming out of silt blinding moments where you can't see the front of your hood, you don't know if another vehicle might be broke down, and the maneuverability that the engineering and the research and development of these off-road vehicles, that once again, it benefits everybody's minivan, it benefits everybody's vehicle no matter where you are. Talk about that pursuit and accomplishment as an off-road racer at these speeds in this unidentifiable topography and terrain. Talk about your accomplishment of that higher level of awareness, because everybody listening right now, their life would be better if they pursue a higher level of awareness. How does it apply to off-road racing, and where did you get it?
You know what? That's actually a great question, because, you know, obviously when you watch off-road racing, you see how demanding it is on the vehicle. It's endurance racing. We're not racing for an hour. We're racing for, 6, 8, 15. We're getting ready for the Baja 1000. It's going to be more than, probably anywhere from 16 to 24 hours of putting your truck and your body, but more importantly, your mind to the test. And, it definitely separates the men from the boys. You have to have the mindset going into it. You can't. I learned this from Ivan Stewart and my dad. Once you take that green flag, if you concentrate on winning the race and getting to the finish line, you're going to wear yourself out. You got to set these small little goals for yourself. Get yourself through the first 100 miles. Let's get to checkpoint 1. Let me get to pit 1. So once you get there, you reset that mind and you look to try to accomplish the next goal. So in order to win one of these races right now, you got to set these small little goals for yourself in order to achieve a win in this sport nowadays. To me, it's the same thing as if you're hunting, or if you're an outdoorsman, or if you're in business. Obviously you have a goal of what you're trying to get to. You have a goal of being successful. You have a goal of bagging a deer or an elk. You have that goal, but you got to make these small little developments in your mind to be able to get to that goal. And it is more mental. Our sport's more mental than I think it is physical. And you're constantly making changes to these vehicles, and your mind is on overdrive. You're fighting 6,000 pounds, 1,100 horsepower through the course of everything that Baja has to throw at you. You really have to think. You got to know when to be patient. You have to know when to start pushing. And I said, once again, I say this for off-road, but this goes to me with anything in life. Life and being at the top level of life is so mental, and having the mental clarity, and you have to have the determination in your head. Because I tell you what, especially in the sport of off-road racing, or in sports in general, even in politics and anything you do, you're going to lose more than you win. You have to know and understand how to take those losses and turn those into a positive to make yourself and your team and your friends and your family around you make it even better, if that makes sense.
Ryan, I hope everybody listening to this, I hope many of them recorded it, because what you just identified, it truly is the essence of focus, mind, spirit, body and soul, the physics of spirituality. Yeah, you've got the horsepower. You're reading that engine and the suspension through your right foot and your left foot, and your hands on the steering wheel, whether you're using paddles or shifting, whatever, mostly all automatic stuff nowadays. But it's the same thing. Off-road racing in the Baja, I approach life like that. I think Donald Trump just approached his campaign. If you took everything you just said, Ryan, I hope everyone's paying attention, because we're just celebrating the final victory to put America back on track with the proper commander-in-chief. You just identified focus, dedication, taking good care of yourself. You can't win Baja if you're tired. You can't win Baja if you're weak. You can't win Baja if you're overweight and not feeling at the best. You just identified not just what it takes to win a grueling, demanding race like the off-road racing, ultimately Baja. I think King of Hammers, we'll talk about that in a minute. Or just following me into the swamp in my 66 Bronco to pick up a deer. I mean, it's awesome. I get airborne going to fetch a deer. Anyhow, you just identified how I approach life, how you approach life, and how Donald Trump approached this campaign. So everybody listen to Ryan Arciero. He's about to torture himself, because it really does beat the living crap out of you. When I finished the first bar style 350, my first off-road race, I wasn't sure my skeleton would still work. And then the Mint, and then the Parker. So, Ryan, this is a great celebration for one of the greatest off-road races. I'm going to have you on again because Marty Tripes and all these great masters of their given pursuit. This is not just off-road racing. It's not just playing guitar. It's not just campaigning to be president. You're talking about focus and dedication to quality of life. Could someone win the Baja if they were drunk or stoned?
Absolutely not.
That's all I did. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, can you drive a car? Yeah, but are you there to drive a car? Are you there to crash? Are you there to win a race? You want to be the best at what you're doing, no matter what that is. You gotta have a step above everybody else. I don't care what that is in life. You got to have that mentality and have a step above everybody else. That means if this guy's training a little bit over here and focus on this over there, and I want to beat him, then I'm going to train more than he is. I'm going to focus more than he is, so I can get one step ahead of him and be one step ahead of him when it comes to race day.
Well, Ryan, we only got a couple seconds here left, but thanks for joining. You give all those off-roaders a big Uncle Ted salute. They know who I am. They know I raced professionally for about 10 years. They know that it's about putting your heart and soul into being the best that you can be. So a big salute to you and your family and these super trucks. I want to talk more. I'm going to track your ass down because I got quite a fleet of trucks here. And I live for horsepower and performance. Have a wonderful, wonderful race. We're going to talk right afterwards. Ryan Arciero about to go into the Baja 1000 in the trophy trucks. God bless you guys. Be safe.
God bless you, Ted. You keep up the great work, brother.
I guarantee you that. Nobody's going to stop me. Thank you, everybody. We're celebrating the real president, the real commander-in-chief right here on the Real America's Voice Spirit Campfire. I love you people.